Even the calm of the sea itself is deceptive. There will be gunboats out there on the horizon. The serenity of the sun's rays at sunset belie a fundamental disquiet. Jonathan Miller, Channel 4 News, Gaza.
And we did try to talk to the former Prime Minister and Middle East envoy Tony Blair tonight, but we're told he's travelling. Kathy.
Thanks, John. Now, scores of people have been killed by suspected Islamic militants in Nigeria, according to witnesses who claimed gunmen from the Boko Harram militia rampaged through a village, killing anyone they found. The attack took place in Borno State in northern Nigeria. On Saturday evening, the attackers stormed into Isga village near the border with Cameroon, firing at people for hours while the army failed to intervene. There are now concerns that Boko Harram are now spreading their reach. 20 fighters have been arrested in neighbouring Niger and are suspected of planning an attack on the border town of Diffa. Well, our international editor, Lindsay Hilsum, is with me now. So tell us what more we know, Lindsay.
Well, I understand that in this village of Isga, there were 60 funerals yesterday, 40 today. All the dead people put in a mass grave, and then the villagers have fled because they're terrified, because there is no protection for them. There is a state of emergency in Borno State. The military are supposed to be there rooting out the Boko Harram, these jihadis, but they're not doing their job. They run away, and the people are just caught in it, and there's nothing that they can do. There was a similar attack just last week in which 51 were killed, and they come in, they burn the village, they terrify people, they tell people that they mustn't deal with the state at all, and then there are all these dead, and there's really nothing people can do. They're terrified of the military as well, because they're committing atrocities. It really is hell up in this part of Nigeria at the moment.
Well, it's clearly hellish in Nigeria, but what about more broadly? What are the implications for the region beyond?
I think far greater than we generally understand. We just talked about 20 of the Boko Haram militants who were arrested in Niger. That's a very fragile state. It's also a state where the Americans have a drone base, mainly for use in Mali. You remember Mali, which was the north of that country, was controlled by jihadis until just last year. Then you've got Cameroon. They have bases in Cameroon. On the other side of Cameroon, you've got Islamists from the Central African Republic fleeing in. So you have a great danger of a conflagration in this region, and Boko Haram is at the centre of it.
Well, briefly, why do we hear so little about it then?
Because it's so dangerous for anybody to report there. These are people who kidnap Westerners and they kill with impunity. And also, I think that the Nigerian military, they're not particularly keen on having reporters up there because they commit atrocities too. And so this is an almost untold story, but it's affecting hundreds of thousands of lives.
Lindsay, thank you very much. John.
After the break, water everywhere, but not from a cannon, as the Mayor of London considers plans to